In the world of hip-hop, female artists have faced challenges both on and off the stage. Today, we delve into the stories of those who have found themselves on the wrong side of the law. This is not an exhaustive list, but we will focus on a few of the bad girls of hip-hop. Our journey begins with Lola Mitchell. Gangsta Boo, whose real name is Lola Mitchell, was charged in connection with an armed robbery of a Dollar General store in Mississippi in 2009. After a warrant for her arrest was issued, she turned herself into police and was released on $100,000 bond. Gangsta Boo later did a 2011 interview with Vlad TV where she detailed her involvement in the armed robbery. She went on to say that a former associate that she had previously cut ties with lied to police about her being there. She believes he was angry at her and mentioned her name. Once she got wind of the charges, she turned herself in, paid the bond, and the lawyer took care of the rest. She never had to do anything else involved in the case because she was not there and there was no proof of her actually being involved. Her accuser is currently facing 17 years in prison because of his actions with the armed robbery.
Follow-up tonight, a Memphis rapper facing criminal charges in North Mississippi is defending herself tonight. Lola Mitchell, also known as Gangsta Boo, turned herself into police Tuesday. That's after she learned she had a warrant for conspiracy to commit armed robbery. Police say she and 28-year-old Marcus Curtis were involved in the robbery of a Dollar General store in Olive Branch. In a statement released to Fox 13 today, Gangsta Boo says, in part, I have no connections with any unlawful activities with the suspect Marcus Curtis or anyone else involved in this matter. I was neither questioned nor informed of any such charges brought against me before a warrant was issued, which led me to turn myself in. I feel like I have been publicly slandered and targeted because of my career. I am innocent on all charges and the truth will prevail in.
Inga Marchand, aka Foxy Brown, has had several run-ins with the law. In 1997, she received 80 hours of community service after she allegedly spit on 2 hotel workers in North Carolina. In 2004, she had a second run-in with the law after allegedly attacking 2 nail technicians in New York. She was sentenced to 3 years probation and anger management counseling. Fast forward to September 2007. While reportedly pregnant and on probation. Now remember, she was sentenced to 3 years of probation for the 2004 incident with the 2 manicures. Brown was sentenced to 1 year in prison for violation of probation. Brown violated probation after throwing a BlackBerry phone at a neighbor who complained about her music being too loud and for traveling out of the state. She was in New Jersey when police pulled her over and she allegedly gave police a false identity. She was also charged with battery and resisting arrest without violence after tussling with employees of a Florida beauty supply store, as well as struggling with the responding officer in June of 2007. Next up on our list, we have Shantae Harris, aka Da Brat. Back in 2000, the performer faced legal charges after she beat a woman with a gun during a dispute over VIP seating at a nightclub in Georgia. After this incident, Da Brat avoided jail time by pleading reckless conduct, performing 80 hours of community service, serving a year's probation, and paying a $1,000 fine. However, years later, Da Brat was involved in yet another violent altercation. In August of 2008, Da Brat was sentenced to 3 years behind bars, 7 years of probation, and 200 hours of community service after pleading guilty to aggravated assault. This incident happened in a nightclub in Georgia again. After getting into a heated argument with a nightclub waitress, Harris hit her in the face with a rum bottle. The hit caused permanent scarring. After she was released, she sat down with Essence magazine and spoke about her time in prison. When asked what she learned from her time in prison, Da Brat answers, not to take anything for granted, because it's the little things that mean the most. The letters, the food. I had no idea I wouldn't see shrimp for 3 years. You don't look at those little things you take for granted so easy until you get sat down, get locked up, or get into a position where you see other people who are less fortunate than you that don't have anybody. Next on our bad girls list, we have Kaya. Kaya Finch, aka Kaya, has had many run-ins with law enforcement. She has a mugshot collection with at least 20 mugshots, and she has been arrested under the name Kaya Finch as well as under the alias Kaya Chambers. Reminisce Smith, who was professionally known as Remy Ma, was charged with intentional assault, weapons possession, and attempted coercion after an incident in 2007. It was alleged that Remy got into a heated argument with her best friend Makita Barnes Joseph in July 2007. It was reported that the two were leaving a mutual friend's birthday party when the argument started. Things got even more heated and the two got into a physical altercation while in the car. When in the car, Makita was shot. The bullet pierced through her colon and hit her rectum, and she spent 3 weeks in the hospital. The argument stemmed from Remy Ma accusing her of stealing $3,000 from her purse. In addition to a weapons, coercion, and assault charge, prosecutors accused Remy of intimidation, gang assault, and tampering with evidence. However, the 3 latter charges were later acquitted. On March 27, 2008, Remy was charged with 2 counts of assault and sentenced to 8 years in prison. She served 6 years and was released from prison in 2016. In 2021, while being a guest on the Wendy Williams daytime TV show, Remy spoke about her experience and still claims she's not guilty. She stated that she did not know who Makita Barnes Joseph was and that she did not shoot anyone. Did not know this girl, wasn't my best friend. All of these things that were said over these years were not true. But once you're in prison, nobody cares. I didn't shoot anybody. Kimberly Jones, aka Lil Kim, infamously served time in prison in 2006. But before that stint, the Queen Bee was arrested in 1996. Kim was arrested after police raided Biggie's home in New Jersey. Kim was charged with marijuana possession. In 2005, Kim was sentenced to a year and a day and fined $50,000 for lying to a federal grand jury to protect her friends who were involved in the 2001 shooting outside of Hot 97's radio station. So let's get into what led up to the drama that day. So, the rap duo Capone and Noriega released a song called Bang Bang featuring Foxy Brown. Foxy was dissing Kim on the song. So one day in 2001, Lil Kim's entourage and Capone and Noriega's entourage crossed paths. Both of them just happened to be at Hot 97 for separately scheduled interviews. Somebody from Kim's camp asked Capone and Noriega if they had a problem with Kim since they released the song Bang Bang. Then words were exchanged, tempers flared, and gunshots rang out. One man was hurt. During the trial, Lil Kim lied to the jury about not seeing 2 of her close friends at the shootout. However, the jury heard witnesses state that they saw Kim at the scene with the 2 defendants, as well as the radio station's photos that showed one of the men opening the door for Kim at the station. Kim could have faced up to 20 years, 5 years each on 3 counts of perjury and 1 count of conspiracy. Kim eventually served 10 months of her 366-day sentence at the Federal Detention Center in Philadelphia. Next up, we have Lisa Left Eye Lopez. In 1994, Left Eye set her then boyfriend, NFL star Andre Rison's Georgia mansion on fire. According to the story, that night, both Andre and Left Eye went out partying all night, but they did that separately. They partied separately. Andre stayed out until 5 a.m., and when he came home, Left Eye was there standing at his home screaming at him when he pulled up. He claims that he could tell that she had been drinking, but he wasn't sure why she was mad at him. He says he made many attempts to calm her down, including slapping her and slamming her on the bed and sitting on her. Once that didn't work, Andre went on a walk, and he eventually walked to another teammate's house and stayed there hoping the situation would calm down. However, this did not calm things down. It was alleged that Left Eye broke out the car windows of his vehicle with a vacuum cleaner pipe, and she set Andre's sneakers on fire and put them in a tub. As a result of her setting the sneakers on fire in the tub, she eventually burnt the mansion down. She was charged with felony assault and turned herself in a few days later after the incident. She was released on a $75,000 bond and checked herself into rehab. During her sentencing, Andre was there at Left Eye's side. He supported her. He was even seen holding her hand. She was sentenced to a halfway house and 5 years probation plus a $10,000 fine. Next we have up City Girl Jatavia Shakara Johnson, aka JT from the City Girls. In June 2018, she began her 2-year sentence at FCI Tallahassee in Florida. JT was charged with aggravated identity theft and use of unauthorized access devices after making some fraudulent credit card charges. JT entered a plea agreement where she pled guilty to aggravated identity theft while the other charges were dismissed. Lauryn Hill. In 2013, Lauryn Hill was charged with tax evasion and was sentenced to 3 months in federal prison and 3 more months of house arrest for failure to pay taxes on close to $1 million of earnings between 2005 and 2007. During her sentencing, Hill stated to the judge that she intended to pay the money back, but she couldn't after she stepped out of the limelight to take care of her 6 children. Hill completed her sentence in Connecticut at a federal prison. Kise. In March 2007, Kise was arrested outside a Miami nightclub and charged with 2 misdemeanor charges of disorderly conduct and resisting arrest without violence. She was released a few hours later on a $1,500 bond. Kise was arrested for allegedly harassing 2 police officers who posed as prostitutes outside of the club. The following year, Kise was found not guilty after a judge found that there was no evidence of her interfering with a police investigation. All charges were dropped, and it's been stated that Kise at the time was planning a multi-million-dollar lawsuit against the department as she believed racial profiling was at the root of her arrest. Next up, we have Miss Nuck If You Buck. We have Brittany Carpintero, aka Diamond of Crime Mob. Diamond was arrested on aggravated assault charges in 2007, stemming from a stabbing incident on the group's tour bus. According to sources, Diamond and another woman on the bus were arguing over a man when another female, alleged to be a friend of Diamond's, intervened and she slashed the woman's face with a sharp object. Police were called to the scene, but Diamond had left the scene before police arrived. A source close to Diamond insists that the rapper is a victim of mistaken identity. Diamond was arrested and booked on May 20th, 2007. She was released on $20,000 bond 2 days later. Next up, we have Faith Evans. Faith Evans has had a couple incidents with law enforcement. In 2004, Faith's car was pulled over after police noticed that the car's temporary tag was missing an expiration date. After smelling burnt marijuana, police searched the vehicle and found drugs. In 2010, Faith was arrested on suspicion of misdemeanor drunk driving. But it doesn't stop there. In 2020, Faith was arrested and charged with a felony domestic assault charge after allegedly attacking then-husband CVJ after a heated argument. She bonded out later that day. Natina Reed, known for being a part of the girl group Black, also makes this list of hip-hop baddies for her 2 arrests. One arrest was for disorderly conduct and breaking the open container law. She bonded out with $420 the next day. In 2011 in Georgia, she was arrested after she was spotted driving erratically. Reed failed to pass the field sobriety test and was charged with driving under the influence, reckless driving, and driving without a valid Georgia license. Now, her license was actually revoked, after the previous incident. Reed posted bond for $2,230 after spending 2 days in jail. Well, that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. Let me know in the comments which female artist deserves an honorable mention that didn't make it on this list. I'll see you next video. Bye-bye.